will see it with his head down, reeling off laps approaching 230 miles per hour. And now the chess game gets serious. Where will he approach? Where will he try to make the pass? Vassar down low, but Ribeiro runs well up high. We're going to have a black flag for Christian Fittipaldi, who is apparently leaking some kind of fluid.
10 laps to go, 20 miles. As we see Christian Fittipaldi running low in the group. He's been doing that for about the last 10 or 15 laps. Probably just trying to collect some points. Vassar getting a good toe off of Ribeiro. And
problems. Ribeiro's got problems. He dives for the pit lane. Something has gone wrong in the young Brazilian's car. Jimmy Vassar is all alone up front down to Marty Reed.
The fueling rig is out. It looks like all their telemetry was exactly screwing up their heads because they just didn't have any idea. It showed that he was down low. They put the fuel hose in. They're just going to give him enough to get going. He's back out, but the race is over.
There is Chip Ganassi watching all of this unfold. Jan Bikus.
Well, Marty, don't forget that when we talked to Steve Horn earlier, he said that because it was the spare car, they had no telemetry, so they did not really have an accurate reading other than what they could do with their calculator. So Ribeiro falls victim to the fact they don't have the latest electronics on the spare car.
Once again, Lady Luck deserts Steve Horn and his team in 500-mile competition. Jimmy Vassar, remember, started from pole. There is Parker Johnstone. That's one of the crewmen on Parker Johnstone's car. Johnstone has vacated the machine. What a day they have had, with so much help from so many different entities to keep them in this race, and they had a shot at that $1 million. As the car smokes from the rear, Jimmy Vassar led 18 laps, took the lead back on lap 240. Back down to Marty Reed.
Guys, now the truth really comes out. Steve Horn just came by after the fuel cut. He says, I guess I can tell you now. He said, all day long we've been having a fuel pickup problem. It wouldn't get the last 10 gallons. We knew we had enough, but we couldn't get it into the motor.
All right, thank you, Marty. Jimmy Vassar up high. The nearest car, Mauricio Gugelmin, is 3.3 seconds behind. And the laps continue to tick down. Next time by, there will be 5 laps remaining for Jimmy Vassar, the only current IndyCar driver to win a 500-mile pole and race in the same year at Michigan. Michael Andretti, who dropped out of this race with mechanical problems early on. That was back in 1987. There you see Mauricio Gugelmin running in second place, but he's dropping further back. He is now 3.9 seconds behind. Behind Gugelmin, Andre Ribeiro is in third, Roberto Moreno fourth, Mark Blundell fifth.
Even if Gugelmin finishes second today, it'll be a great day for Pac West with a second and fifth place finish. Probably a little bit more than what they expected a couple of weeks ago when they qualified both cars and had difficulty qualifying in the middle of the pack.
As you take a look at the running order, the story right now is all Jimmy Vassar. If he can win it, and he is just 4 laps from the checkered flag, he will pick up his 4th victory of the year. If the race were to end right now, he would have 94 points in the championship. A stout lead over the second place of Al Unser, who at this point will total 58 points at the end of the day. So Jimmy Vassar in what could be the pivotal moment of the season for him in the first running of the US 500.
If Jimmy wins, this will certainly be a clean sweep with $100,000 that we talked about for the pole position earlier on with a Marlboro Award. He'll pick up $45,000 extra dollars from winning the race from a pole, and obviously the $1 million in the Vanderbilt Trophy. Couldn't ask for anything better in the month of May.
After qualifying, he said he was going to go out and buy Mom a new car. Right now, he could buy her a fleet of cars. The way things are going for Jimmy Vassar. 2 laps remaining, 4 miles to go. For the driver from San Francisco, California, who has spent most of his life racing one thing or another. He was a legend for his tenacity and achievement in the Toyota Atlantic Series. He has made his way to Indy cars. His former car owner, Jim Hayhoe, went to Chip Ganassi and said, you've got to give this guy a shot. Ganassi put him on his team, and look what Jimmy Vassar has done. White flag for Jimmy Vassar. He goes by Andre Ribeiro. so much of a part of this race in the closing laps. Now on the backstretch. And now he'll be listening to that Honda motor, watching his Firestone tires. Once again, that little twitch on the backstretch that we've been watching all day. Onto the high banks, past the pit in, and the crowd comes to its feet as checkers and American flags wave for the winner of the inaugural US 500, Jimmy Vasser. Here comes Mauricio Gugelmin, who will come home in second. The idea for waving the checker and American flags came to IndyCar from 6-year-old Jonathan Block of Allentown, Pennsylvania. There you go, Jonathan. As Chip Ganassi congratulates his crew. Let's get down to Marty Reed.
I'll tell you what, I don't think I've ever seen you jump that high.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. With Alex, the job he did today, Jimmy, the job he's doing all year, the team, those guys came out, the team is the best. My team's the best. They came out with their spare car and won the race. They're the greatest.
They're heading for victory lane, guys.
Well, every race goes into the record books, but it's the rare race that provides history, and we have seen it today. The inaugural running of the US 500 produces victory for Jimmy Vasser, the Vanderbilt Cup, and a check for $1 million. We'll be back.
It's over 8 feet long, and most of it's chrome. 6 cylinders, 6 carburetors, 1,520 cc's. It's the biggest motor you can get on 2 wheels. And it's made right here in America. You can't wait. Valkyrie from Honda. It's here.
Target teammates, Alex Zanardi and Jimmy Vasser.
Alex? Hey, there's nobody better. I mean, he was born to drive.
I'm new to the Target team, but Jimmy has made me feel right at home.
Alex is the fastest thing on 4 wheels. Really.
Words cannot describe how I feel about Jimmy.
The world's biggest stars. In the world's most popular sport, come to play in your backyard. It's the first of a new league, MLS on ESPN.
DC United versus New York, New Jersey Metro Stars, Thursday at 7:30.
The whole world is watching.
Welcome back to Michigan International Speedway. There are some days when Mother Nature gets you in a headlock and just won't let you go. There is Jimmy Vasser in victory lane. Here is how his day began at the inaugural US 500. Jimmy Vasser was on pole as the race came down to the start, to the green flag before the race ever began. He made contact with Adrian Fernandez, and Jimmy Vasser found himself hard into the trackside wall. The race was red flagged. Vasser hopped into his backup car. Throughout the day, he battled his way back to the front of this field. And after 250 hard laps of racing, Jimmy Vasser finds himself in victory lane, the winner of the inaugural US 500. His name will be inscribed on the Vanderbilt Cup, and he will accept a check for $1 million, the winner's share of a purse in excess of $3.5 million. An astonishing way to begin the day, but it ended in the best way possible for Jimmy Vasser and the Target Ganassi team. Here's Jan Bikus.
Well, the biggest beating that Jimmy Vasser took today was not in the race car for 500 miles. It was by your crew when you got out. These guys just start beating you up when you got out.
Beat me up, but I got some sore knees from that start deal. I don't know what happened there. I mean, I was just holding my line coming down. Somebody hit me in the back, and it's amazing to run the spare car like this. It's definitely not as quick as our primary, and we were struggling with it all day long. And that's all credit to the Target Chip Ganassi team. And my heart goes out to Alex, my teammate, who was really hooked up and running well. But, you know, we won. We still won as a team, and the team really won this race today, all the hard work we did. And I'd like to thank Chip and Bob from Target here. It's great. Who needs milk?
But tell me, though, when that crash happened, did you ever think in your wildest dreams you'd be standing here in Victory Circle?
Well, we pit under the green on our last stop, and we went a lap down, and I was just really bummed out about that. But then you know, good fortune. It seems like we've been getting it all season long, you know, and we were able to come back around. And I knew with 30 laps to go, we had a good car, and I could, you know, Ribeiro, I was just sizing him up, and I don't know what happened to him there. He really slowed down, but I think we were going to get him anyway. But, you know, all credit to the Target Ship Ganassi team to put the spare car on the grid and go out and win. That was great.
Jimmy Vasser, he wins $1 million. But what I want to know, I wonder if he's going to share any of that $1 million with Brian Herta that brought out that yellow flag. Let's get up to James Allen.
Well, equal scenes of joy here at Pac West. Mauricio Gugelmin, a fantastic second place and a great run today.
Well, we're talking in the beginning, the crew did a fantastic job. The Hollywood Pac West team put the car together. After that crash was unbelievable, and we had to chase the car early on to get a good balance. Was pushing too much, we adjust the car, and in the end was perfect. Lacking a little bit of horsepower, but the crew really deserve it. I just drove what they gave me.
And Bob, they were only using a Ford XB engine. How about that? Back to you.
Well, I guess that just proves that engine power isn't absolutely everything. Let's take a look at the final results of the inaugural US 500 as the celebrations continue down in Victory Lane. Jimmy Vasser wins 4 of the first 6 races of the year. First man since Johnny Rutherford in 1980 to do that. 7th through 12th, Paul Tracy, Al Unser Jr., who remains second in the points chase. There you see the rest of the standings. Greg Moore, what a day he had, threatened for victory, a big spin, and finally the engine let go. An extraordinary day for everyone involved. We knew it would be dramatic, but we could not have possibly known how dramatic this day would be. Jimmy Vasser remains the man to beat in IndyCar. Here's a look at the point standings. Vasser now with a 36-point lead over Al Unser Jr., Scott Pruitt in 3rd, followed by Andre Ribeiro, Gilles de Ferran, and Greg Moore. It's going to be a great season of IndyCar racing. Let's get down to Marty Reed.
In the history of the first US 500, you're going to be in the record books as far as putting on a great show. Andre Ribeiro, 4th place, but your thoughts on this run? You came back so strong there.
Well, the car was definitely very good. The team made a fantastic job. Thank you very much to all the guys. But unfortunately, we had a problem with the fuel pickup, and we had to do 1 extra pit stop, and on the last 2 laps, we were having a big misfire because of the fuel.
I'll tell you what, though, guys, they love him in this camp, don't you?
All right, well done, Andre Ribeiro. A little bit of disappointment, perhaps, at coming up slightly short. On June 2nd, the IndyCar Series will continue on ABC Sports with the Miller 200 from West Allis, Wisconsin. Coming up next on ESPN, Thrills and Spills 95, to be followed by SportsCenter with all the news of a very busy day in sports, particularly motorsports. Final thoughts, Scott Goodyear?
Well, I think it was a great race, a great run, and we really thought Honda was going to be in the winner's circle at the end of the day. But there is lots of things that went on throughout the day, and obviously the start at the beginning was something we didn't expect. The teams did a great job, got all the cars out there. We had a great day of racing.
Don't forget RPM at midnight tonight Eastern Time for highlights of this race, the Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 from Charlotte. I want to thank Scott Goodyear for making my rookie race here at Michigan a great one. For Scott Goodyear, James Allen, Marty Reed, Jan Bikas, I'm Bob Barsha. Thanks for being with us. A great day here in Michigan. Congratulations to Jimmy Vasser. So long from Michigan International Speedway.
Again, race fans, we've got full out Who Cares About the Budget coverage from both the Indy and US 500 races and all the Coca-Cola you can handle to wash the race day down. It starts with the 80th running of the Indy 500, an event in which casual fans needed Car and Driver Glossary Edition to make out just who was in the race. 17 of the 33 starters were rookies. It ended up being quite a run, although the great finish was almost obscured by a wild wreck among the trailing cars. And here we go to the Brickyard, where a tribute to the late Scott Brayton, the sticker on teammate and pole sitter Tony Stewart's car. So the rookie on the pole, everyone worried about the start, and away they go. It's clean. Stewart pulling away from Eliseo Salazar. He led the first 31 laps. Lap 38 now, leader Roberto Guerrero stalls in the pits. The start of a rough day for his crew. To lap 81, and Stewart runs into some problems. That evil noise was Stewart's engine blowing, and he headed to the pits. Team Menard manager Larry Curry knows the Menards are in some trouble, especially when with Stewart in the pits, Eddie Cheever pulls out, then loses control, slides through pit road. That left the purple car of Buddy Lazier on the lead with Arie Luyendyk giving chase. Lap 98 now, under yellow, everybody in the pits. Arie Luyendyk all set to come out first, but he stalls the car. The crew has to restart.